This is the Mosen Mortgage Program with Sarah Mosen. Mosen Mortgage is licensed in several states for residential and commercial purchases and refinancing. Call 800-662-9550. And now, here's your host, Sarah Mosen.
Happy Friday, folks. It's great to be back here again, and lots of laughter in the studio, Pat and Marita.
We do have a lot of fun. Just like we're just three gals getting together, talking about anything and everything. And
we do.
Well, it's so clear that our finances affect every part of our being. So as we talk through some of the information, Sarah, that you are so good to share with us, always all other issues come up, whether it be about what we're eating or, our activities, what we're buying. And so we can, golly, us gals with those 20,000 extra words per day than the guys, we can expand on things, can't we?
We sure can, and we have great fun doing it, too.
Yeah, we were talking about, the veggie burgers and roasted vegetables and Harley Davidsons.
I know. We've realized we're more similar than we think.
Yes, we are. And similarities in our money and wanting to keep things in balance. And all of us have learned our lesson with things, and living within your means is so very important. And it isn't about how much money you make. It's about, God provides you with a living, and then we are responsible to keep that in balance. And many of us, and I'm raising my hand right here, I have made mistakes and haven't kept it in balance. But when you can pull it back into balance, such a freedom.
It is, and the reality is we've all made mistakes. It's just making sure that we learn from them and get the direction that we need and get the proper information and advice. And as we get towards that goal of retiring as well, we have to pay attention to what's going to be helpful to us during the retirement years. And being on a fixed income, as I mentioned, one of our listeners, a dear friend of mine, Gail Weinstein, retired and was seeking sort of options to reduce the term of her loan, reduce the rate, find renovations that she needed to take on. And, she was able to take on all of those things and not worry about struggling with a fixed income. And to start your retirement years with debt is really very difficult because you're not getting additional income. And you certainly want to make sure that you have taken care of the debt that you have, and you have the lowest rate on everything, and the mortgage in particular, because you don't want to be struggling with that.
And if your mortgage is anything more than 4%, my golly, you want to do something about it right now while money is so cheap, because like you said, Sarah, when you retire, your income is fixed, and who wants to have to go out and try to find a job just to pay for interest or on credit cards or old student loans? I mean, all of that can take away that comfort level that you should be having at that point after having worked 40 or 50 years.
Right, and I think that people often give up too soon. They're giving up, they've retired, and they're struggling, and they think that it's too late to have a comfortable retirement. And I've always said that my view is that you can't change history, but you can start making that change today and making sort of decisions that are going to impact you in a positive manner. And I do promise you that whatever we share together privately will remain private, and I'll give you some insightful information that's going to help you so that you can eliminate debt. And whether you're retiring or you're looking to buy that first home or at least reducing the payment on that mortgage, we're able to help you with rates that are at 50-year lows and other things for that matter, because finances, they do affect everything, relationships, your work life. I've gone into corporations, Pat, and have spoken at great length with friends of mine who are CEOs of their company, and their focus is that their employees are productive and not worried about coming into work because they're worried about not having a home or making that mortgage payment. We do the lunch and learn seminars. I didn't mention this, Pat, but we've done lunch and learn seminars. We bring in lunch. We have folks chat with us about their finances candidly and privately, and that encourages them to at least not have that additional burden when they're coming into work. And it does give your folks there who are a part of your team the ability to be more productive because they're not stressed out, Pat,
Exactly. So. Peace of mind. And that is not anything you can put a value on. And Sarah, I had a neighbor recently inquire of me, or actually not so much inquire, but it came up in conversation that she felt because she was on a fixed income, she wouldn't qualify to do a refi.
No, that's not true, actually. In fact, if you have a fixed income, it's really based on the fact that what's your debt to income. So if you're going to a local bank, you're probably going to look at a 36% amount of debt out of the remaining income that needs to be free. So your approval levels are far less at a local bank or a credit union. We can go up to 50%. So fixed income is not an obstacle. It's just a question of how much debt you have, and we can certainly look into that without really having to pull credit or do anything that's unusual. And that's why I say to folks, listen, keep your mind open. And certainly there is no. There really isn't. It's just a question of getting a solution put together so that you can turn that no into yes. And that's what we're about here at Mosen.
And Sarah is a Keep It Simple Savings Sarah. We could have said, Keep It Simple Sarah. We could actually see that. Well, no, because that could, oh my. No, let's take that back. We could have Marita take that back, but I think we should probably.
Don't take it back. We've got to keep this. We don't edit, so no edits are allowed.
All right. Keep it saving Sarah. Keep it Sarah savings.
Keep it simple, Sarah.
Yes, because that, I think our listeners across this beautiful country of ours, from Boston all the way out there to California, know that there's nothing simple about you, Sarah. You are an expert.
Simple is, simple. This is the thing. Life is very simple, and I say that we just complicate it. So,
yes.
And that's very much relatable to finances, where everything's going on in our head, and we've created these barriers and obstacles. I've done it, and then the more we sort of think about it, it's sort of the paralysis through analysis, and that's what stops us from making these decisions that are going to change your life dramatically in a positive manner. How can you turn away from a savings of $100,000 or $200,000 of interest savings by reducing your rate? To me, that's simply insanity. It's just saying that, listen, I'd rather clip coupons instead of saving $300 a month on my mortgage statement or my mortgage payment. And all you have to do is look at the mortgage statement or even send it to us so that we can tell you how much you can save.
And that's very, very important. I mean, when you said it is simple, the formula is simple, isn't the Christian walk formula simple? I mean, always doing it may not always be simple, but it's just following the good Lord's rules, period. There's no veering off from them, and He's given us those rules, and if we're wondering, we can open up His Word and continue to see the affirmation of the rules. They have not changed, and if we follow that formula, which is reasonably simple, the formula, then we are going to be on a very good, comfortable world for us to live in and walk by and guide ourselves by. And it's the same thing with the finances. You want to be as careful as you can, do as much investigation as you can, and we have an expert, Sarah, that can do all of that for us. Whatever is the right fit for you, she can look at all of your numbers and come back with a solution to whatever situation you're in. And let me just give Sarah's number out again, 1-800-662-9550. And if you'd like to see some of your fellow listeners and their testimonies, check out Mosen Mortgage Facebook. There's some wonderful testimonies there. And Sarah and her family there of Mosen workers are available all the time beyond the 5 o'clock hour, before the 8 a.m. hour, because they understand all of us are busy, and those are the best hours for them to work with you. And Sarah, Marita has given me the, the flaring of the arms there. She's going to try to fly off if we don't do something quickly. Again, 1-800-662-9550.
Stay well, folks.
This has been the Mosen Mortgage Program with Sarah Mosen. Mosen Mortgage is licensed in several states for residential and commercial purchases and refinancing. Call 800-662-9550.